What's up, everyone, and welcome to the microtransaction review. Is that what we're doing? We're reviewing. We're reviewing.
Yeah, it's kind of a
It
review.
is a review, right? We're talking about Starfield. That's what we're reviewing. Joining me today, I have Constellations Chris. Chris, how are you today?
Ooh, just having a good time, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're here to talk about Starfield. The game's out. Well, it came out a little early if you bought the premium edition, I guess.
Mhm,
You pay like a $30 difference, and you get it if you're a Game Pass holder.
mhm.
Whatever, you get the gist. But the whole point here is we want to talk about just through some of the things that we like, some of the things we didn't like, or that they can improve on, and then overall just our feelings towards the game and how much we like it. We've been logging in several hours. Chris, you know how many hours you played so far?
I want to say I'm getting towards like the 10-hour mark.
Okay, sounds good. I know I streamed
Yeah.
9, and I played a few more off of stream, so I'm already at 10 hours
hmm
for sure. I know for a fact. But yeah,
hmm
we're gonna talk about it. First, I guess what do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the likes or the dislikes? What do you want to go over first?
Let's start off positive. Let's start off positive.
Start off positive? Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna start off positive. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna talk about just some of the things I like. I'm gonna talk about the number one. Actually, yeah, the number one thing that I liked, and that's gonna be the exploration of it. I like the game. It's a little different than your typical Fallout games. I feel like, or even your Elder Scrolls games, where you're getting given like an open world and there's different places you can visit. This is like several open areas, is what it is. And when I say several, I mean like a whole bunch, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hundreds, maybe even thousands, I'd imagine. But regardless, they
hmm
have some pretty cool areas to check out, and I love being on a planet. I'm looking at stuff, and then all of a sudden I see in the distance it says there's like an unknown logo where I can go like visit the place, and like I don't know, it's just sick. I think it's awesome. I think flying towards places, the spacecraft, that part's sick as well. And yeah, it's just overall that it just tickles. It just scratches that itch, I guess. What I'm trying to get at. That I know Tears of the Kingdom gave me that, and this game is giving me that too.
Yeah, I haven't. The closest thing I've played to a game like this has been Halo Infinite,
Mhm.
which is nowhere near the same. The wide open space, the terrain. It doesn't feel too samey either when you're jumping from planet to planet, which is a big plus because
Yeah.
you can see how very like how many times do you switch up. Going to a different terrain. How can you maximize it? But they do a good job with the life, the wildlife that's in there, the alien residents. It's a blessing to have. I like it a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. And then I also want to touch up on the missions. I like a lot of the missions. They allow you to do different things. Maybe even do some things that you wouldn't normally do. Some of it does feel a little samesies. Go in, shoot these guys. Go into space, shoot these guys. It might be something like that. But hell, there's been some missions where like I'll go and I'll sneak onto a ship and then I shoot like 3 guys and then I steal the ship. Now the ship is mine. And I don't even know if the mission made me do it, but I just felt like doing it. And like I guess that's what I like. I like that you could just kind of like do a lot of different things here. And the game doesn't really hold your hand, and I think like that might be to its benefit, also maybe to its like detriment a little, just a slight bit.
Mhm.
Especially well, I'll get into the negatives later. I was going to talk about the slow start, but everybody's been talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the stealing the ships, the just the whole cockpit view that you're seeing right now, like it just looks awesome. It feels awesome. I love getting all like unboarding my ship, docking into another ship. You know what I'm saying? And like see, and you could just use the menus to get from one area to another. But sometimes when you're actually getting, like getting off of your the cockpit, you're going into you're looking around your ship, you're boarding into another ship. It's just really cool. I don't know. I really like the feeling, and the game just really gives me. It just really just makes me want to like go out there and just like explore. I didn't know how much I want to explore space. I guess is my whole thing.
Yeah. And then one of the a big positive also with the missions, I love how you start off. Like there was a mission, no, I'll keep it very light spoiler, where it starts off like on a farm,
Hmm.
and that's just the beginning. Now I'm jumping to different planets, following like leads and going on, and then before I know it, I'm like the mission is nowhere where it started. And it's this continuous story, and it's a lot of fun, and then you get wrapped up into it, and I feel like because of Baldur's Gate, I'm like, can I pretend to be the character that I'm playing? And in
Hmm.
certain aspects, I see that you can really do that. And I was just like, because I was playing a story mission, I'm like, do I want to be like the law-abiding, like cowboy with the law? How am I gonna play this?
Right.
And it's fun how the game just makes me decide who do I want to be as the character. And like who do I want to play as while I'm traversing the star fields?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're 100% right on that. That's pretty much all the positives that I have. You know what I'm saying? That's like really where I think the game shines. What do you got from me, Chris?
Honestly, the main positive I want to say is this game could have been a lot more broken, especially after Fallout 76,
Hmm.
you know, and just the fact of how well it runs. And I've been predominantly playing, if not all been playing, on the Xbox Series S, noticing very minimal times of chugs, only when places like it only chugs in places where you would expect chugging to happen, where it would drop frames. And anyone says it doesn't drop frames on the Xbox Series S is 100% lying to you. It will drop frames, but it will be in places you expect. It has never happened to me during gunfights, or honestly when I'm in wide open fields and stuff like that. It's mostly in one of their main cities where that kind of things happens. But I have to be in full sprint, hitting the jetpack. I'm doing a lot, and it's like
Hmm.
you could tell, like, oh, okay, we're working right now. Like,
Yeah.
but other than that, haven't really noticed any like frame dips and or anything crazy like that.
I gotcha. Yeah, I had a few frame dips that I've seen in my gameplay just from like exploring. But again, it was like, yeah, like I was running, sprinting, like jumping. I was giving it throwing a lot at the game, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that all your positives, or you got anything else?
Well, the only other main positive trying to think. Like honestly, you kind of covered everything. Exploration,
Mhm.
um, uh, pretty, and the customization chip. I think that's really, I haven't done any of the what is it when you put the base on the random lane. I haven't done any of that yet
Okay.
because I'm only 10 hours in. But I was like, you could tell like we could already see with some people making Falcon, making the Enterprise, making the Pelicans from Halo. Like, I don't know if I said that already, but you get a lot of that, and it just shows you like, man, if I really get my teeth into the ship customization of it all,
Hmm.
then I'm like, it's gonna pay dividends, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get to that part of the game.
Yeah, I hear you there. No, absolutely.
Mm.
Is that cover all your positives? You think, or?
Yeah. For now, I think we covered a lot of them.
Yeah, I think so too. Now I want to go into the negatives, like what I don't like in the game or what they could have improved.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start off with a slow start. Everybody's been saying it. I feel like I'm not even really gonna touch more up on it. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but once the game opens up, it feels great. It feels tremendous, even. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I'm gonna go with the.
Yeah.
Oh, you got something to add to that?
Oh yeah. Just the only thing, because of that slow start,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say right now, I should have saved it for the end, but just when we're talking about it, we might as well be the topic. I'm like, if you don't have a lot of time to invest in Starfield,
Mm-hmm.
it should probably be a play later kind of thing when you
Yeah.
do have the time, because it is so time dense
Right.
at the beginning, and it's a lot of tutorials, a lot of hand holding. So you just, if that sounds like, oh, I don't want to deal with that for hours,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe wait until you have time, and just so you guys know at home
Right.
what you're getting yourself into.
Oh, absolutely. And so yeah, there's a lot of that. It's definitely not the game you want if you're
Mm.
short on time. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like as far as some of the things that I didn't like. I'm gonna just get the shooting out the way. I'm not a big fan of the shooting of it.
Oh, I like the shooting.
Like I think on PC it feels great. Just on console though, I don't know. It's just something about it just feels too. It just doesn't feel like a shooter. Maybe it's a lack of aim assist. I don't know, but it just the guns feel like they have way too much. I don't know, like kick for what it is. I just feel like it just doesn't do it too well.
Mm.
Um,
I guess is I don't really shoot at that far a range. I've been mostly using my pistol or a sniper rifle, and I've
oh,
been with no aim assist really in the game at all.
right.
But I don't know. I've been having a good time. I guess I didn't expect it to be like a Call of Duty or a Halo in it, so I didn't expect the gameplay in a Bethesda game to be that great. So to me, it's a happy accident, especially when you get the jetpack. I'm like, oh, this just changed things up. I love like jumping.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah. The
saying?
jumping and shooting is sick. It feels great. Like
Yeah.
when someone's hiding behind something, I'm just like, just like, oh, it's great. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's just like, and then, but yeah, no, that part's sick. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. It's I'm coming around to it a little more, but I'm still just not that satisfied with it. It's better than Fallout's ever been, so that's a good thing.
Mhm.
But it's I feel like it still needs some work, but that's okay. Um, the one thing that I can't stand, which happens in every of these Bethesda games, or the Fallout's and Elder Scrolls, is that Bethesda jank. You know what I'm saying? When I call it say the Bethesda jank, I'm talking about the glitches. I've seen containers like within containers, and they're just flop. They don't know. It doesn't know how to stand still, and it's just flopping all over the place. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? So, like you got that. You got characters kind of like jumping all over, like kind of like on top of each other or on top of tables. I've seen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like stuff like that. You know, which comes with a lot of these Bethesda games. I feel like nowadays it's before it was part of its charm. Nowadays I feel like it's more unacceptable. Like I'm just like, especially after Cyberpunk that we've experienced in the past. Um, and yeah, it's just like those glitches, and I would say even the autosave system. Like I feel like the save system needs to be better. Like you can get stuck in an area where you're just like constantly get dying, and like it sucks. You have to then load up a previous save. And I don't know. I just feel like it could have been done better. I don't know what's the answer to it, but it just feels like it's ancient. I feel like in our modern times.
Yeah, the thing is with a Bethesda jank, right? Because I've never. This is my first Bethesda game,
Right.
so a lot of it I find charming, and I laugh at it more than so far. I never met or I haven't come across a Bethesda jank or it's impeded my gameplay. I just more like look at this thing, and I'm like, what the hell is going on over there?
Right.
And it's just kind of funny. The only thing that's like it's scary is when you're speaking to somebody, and then there's just like your companion staring at
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll be like
behind
random
the
like.
person while they're talking,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I've
this
seen
person's emoting and they're doing all like things, and this person just doll eyeing you, just like,
that.
do you need me to put anything in the storage?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Christ.
But what else do you have? Anything that you didn't like, or what anything you want to touch up on?
I Obviously the storage, everyone's talked about it,
Oh
you've
yeah.
heard it to death. It needs to get fixed, but I think that's going to be an easy fix. I think that's just changing a couple numbers around, carries things, because a world that in a world that Bethesda and Starfield has created, they want you to explore everything, grab resources, and to take resources to build, but you're impeded by what you can take. So all your companions become pack mules, and your ship storage just becomes where all the extra stuff is. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Chris, get life together. Shut up. All right, there's a lot of stuff in space. I don't know if you know this. Space is pretty big.
Yeah. Some say.
So, and I don't know if you have anything to that, Liquid, or can I just roll into my biggest complaint?
Yeah. Let's go right into the biggest complaint.
My biggest complaint is the writing and the voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've been doing a little bit of main story, some side more, I've done some of the factions. If that's what it's called, right? Yeah, the
Similar
factions.
factor. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So some of it, man, it is not built all the same. It is sometimes with the writing, I'm just like, there was a better way to write this, and you
Mm-hmm.
just didn't do it. And it seems very like surface level writing.
Mm.
Very, I want to use the word pedestrian. I know that's a bit pretentious, but it's just like I was like, you could do more with what you have, because the world that you're building is so like enriched,
Right.
and I feel like the writing takes me out of it, and the line delivery, some of it just sounds so flat. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you finalized that, that's what you went with. I'm like, you should have went to like, make me feel these moments of dread and panic. I haven't felt dread and or panic. Everything's been like, let's go on adventure. Oh man, things are real bad.
Mm-hmm.
It sticks in this high like octane, and it's just like it's there the entire game. It just doesn't go high or low. Like no one ever was like, my family, what do I need to do? What's going on? None of that's happened yet. At least 10 hours into the game,
Mm-hmm.
it's been very like, and I don't know whether the characters that you're dealing with are very like cut from the same cloth, because you are in this group and they're all trying to figure out the world, and it could be just like like people who are the same in the same group, and it could be that way. But
Mm-hmm.
even when I venture out into different factions and different worlds, I'm like, it all feels very samey. There's not enough character in this game filled with characters,
Mm-hmm.
and it just bothers the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm gonna file that under Bethesda jank, just because I feel like that's been part of. I don't know, Fallout. I don't feel like they've had the best voice acting. I think when you have to provide and I don't want to say this is an excuse, but I'm pretty sure they have so many voices they have to like work with, I guess. And I know they've reused a lot of the same voice actors, but yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe it was a rush thing, maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well,
which.
I don't know either, but I think at this day when And don't get me wrong, I think like at it and pass, excuse me, they get a pass and they shouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
but like I get it's part of the world and it's a Bethesda game, but it's just like I'm like, man, we have games, and I hate to make the comparison because we're talking about Starfield, but with Baldur's Gate and the voice acting is so top tier,
Oh yeah.
and even like you said, Cyberpunk, the voice acting was so, like characters felt like characters,
Mm-hmm.
like this person felt different from that person, and it's my biggest knock. Everything that we talked about, I feel like for the most part can get fixed. I'm like, this is the only thing that like you can't fix it
Right.
because you're not gonna get all these actors to come back to redo lines. That's just not gonna happen. And I think it's my biggest gripe, the thing that takes me out of the game the most.
I gotcha. I think it's a pretty solid gripe, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know what you mean here. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go over to the I guess the final points, our final thoughts and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I want to say, like I still I like the game a lot. I love the game. I think people are on the money when they get like sevens and eights. I think that's kind of where this game falls in. I don't think this is gonna be your game of the year. For anybody, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe for some people, but I don't think not for the masses. That's for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
for what they do have here, I think it's really solid. I think it's awesome, and it's a lot of fun. I like playing it, and I can't wait to play more.
Yeah, and just speaking to like a bigger sense, I'm like, I think this is desperately the W Xbox needed for their library. They desperately needed this, and it hit the hammer on the head. Now, is it a generational game like it needs to be? No, it's
Mm.
just not. It's not that. It's simply not that. Can it get there one day? Maybe, but it needed to do it now, and it didn't. But it's still a stellar game. 8 is still a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
Like on like if we were to hit our old yay or nay scale, like where would you hit it?
Oh, we're gonna
What would
go
you?
yay for sure. Yeah, you can play
Uh,
this game for sure. If you get a chance to play it, whether it's on PC or Xbox, definitely give it a shot. I think it's a little time consuming. So if time is not your thing, like or if you don't have the patience for it, I get that. But if you do have a chance, where you're just like, hey, I'm bored, I want to try something, try it out, give it a shot.
yeah, I would also go with the yay with the asterisk if you have the time and you can. I know I hate even when people do it like, oh, you need to watch the first 30 episodes. After that, it gets good. And right now, we're telling you, hey, play 10 hours a game, and then it gets cooking.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, 10 hours, my dude? I get like an hour play a day. What are you talking about? So just go there with that in mind. It
Right.
is a slow burn, but if you get through it, the universe is yours.
Yeah, and it's fun. Well, that's our thoughts. What we liked, what we disliked, and just our final thoughts about the game overall. Definitely tell us what you like. Leave a comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm gonna leave you all per usual. Love to take up a be cool, and we're gonna catch you on the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.